Marquez, I'm starting to think you're actually not the problem. I don't know. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to This With The News. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back to watch my videos. If you are new here, please like, comment, and share this video. Yeah, we're here. It's a new day. It's 2025, and I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday. Let's get into the video. So today we will be recapping and reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville season 9 episode 10. A little bit to get into, not too much, and this episode was aight. It was aight. So this episode starts off with Nell and Chris, and they are out eating at a pizza parlor and talking, of course. He said that he's excited to move into his brokerage, and then they start smacking and chewing on their food for about a minute. Y'all could have kept that. Y'all could have kept that. If y'all don't know, which y'all should know, supposedly Chris is the one who introduced Marcel and Trisha to each other. So Chris is basically like, no, that was a lie. I never introduced anybody. There was no introduction. Like, I didn't put these two people together. He asked me a question, I answered him, and he did his own thing.
Yeah.
Do you think you was wrong? You had your hand in introducing him to Trish?
Well, first of all, that's a damn lie.
So what Chris said that happened, and I am going to read from my notes because it is a lot. So if I'm looking down, it's just to read so I can get the story straight. I don't want to give y'all the wrong story. Okay? Got it. So Chris said that what happened was he was on the phone with Marcel while he was at the gym. Marcel then goes on to ask what gym he went to. He told him the gym, and then I might not even make the notes. And then he told Marcel that, he told him the gym, and then Marcel then asked, okay, is there women at the gym? And he was like, yeah, there's plenty of women here. You know, a woman just walked past. Trisha happened to be that woman that just walked past. He then was like, yeah, and I kind of know her, you know, she's my cousin or whatever.
Was on the phone talking to Martell, asked me if any women were in that gym. And I said, yeah, there's some women in this gym.
Whatever. Like that part is just so weird to me. Like, I don't know, every time they say it. But so he said he didn't know her name, but he knew her last name. Cool. He gave Marcel her last name, and Marcel, while they're on the phone still, looks her up on Facebook or Instagram and finds her and then DMs her.
Nice looking women. I said, yeah, there's some nice looking women in this gym. Female here that just walked by. Gave him her last name, told him what she looked like. He went and found her while we were on the phone.
All right, cool. That's the story. So he said, Nell, like, okay, so first you talking about you don't know her like that, but you know her last name, like what? And that's when he was like, yeah, because she's my cousin. She's my cousin on my mom's side. So she like, well, how do you find somebody just off her last name? That's a good question, because I don't even think it's possible. And he like, I don't know what the hell Marcel did. No, you lying. That's what the fuck it is, you lying. So now, like, I don't know, I feel like y'all do this all the time. Like, y'all just be scavenging and shit. Like, I feel like y'all done this before. He like, no, we don't be doing this. Like, this not what we do. This is, this was a first time, one time thing. Yeah, whatever. She then goes on to ask him, like, so were you doing this when we were trying to get Mel and Marcel back together? And he was like, nah, I know for sure they were separated at this point and getting separated. Yeah, okay. They are finished with that part of the conversation, and Nell brings up the fact that she is not feeling Mel that much at this point. She is still feeling a way about the conversation they had at Mel's house about the whole mentorship shit. She basically says she wants to sit down and have a conversation with Melody. Cool. Do that. Mel now goes to see Maurice at his office. Maurice is like, I've spoken to Martell already. We already cleared the air with that whole situation. I feel like it's time for me to clear the air now with Melody and just, let her know how I feel. Cool. So he starts off the conversation by saying he's been hearing that Melody has been going from person to person, trying to disparage his character. And he felt like the old Melody would have came to him and addressed him. I'm so tired of the men on the show. They just feel like they so fucking entitled. Specifically to Scott. The Scott man. Like, because I mean, I already said how I feel about the whole Melody situation, going person to person, talk about it. I'm done talking about that at this point. But the entitlement is just... Melody was like, I don't think I was doing anything to your character. You know, your character is... If your character isn't questioning, it's because you put it in question off of your actions. They ain't got shit to do with me. Don't put that on me.
You know, I was being told that you're going from person to person, disparaging my character too.
I think when it comes to your character, you kind of took care of that on your own.
And that's true. That's absolutely true. He didn't ask her, like, is the way she moving because she wants to get back from, like, past situations and past hurt, trauma, whatever. And she was like, no, this is just my opinion. Like, you know, this is my opinion on you. Now, at this point, I feel like Maurice starts to hit below the belt because he says that Melly's introduction to the world on the show, whatever, was basically focused or based around Marcel cheating on her. No. Once again, don't minimize her success or her face on this show, her energy, her platform, her character on this show as to somebody who was getting cheated on by their husband. Like, that is just so disrespectful to me. So fucking disrespectful.
Your introduction to the public, right, is an embarrassing situation that you've had to go through.
It's just, I feel like when he say that, it's just like you trying to make her the face of wives that get cheated on or some shit. Like, what? Like, no, that's some bullshit, and he know that. Melody says her introduction on the show was her being a great wife, a great mom, and a great entrepreneur.
My introduction to the platform was an amazing mom, an amazing wife, an amazing entrepreneur.
Do you believe?
Period, poo. It still is. That is her. That is what she's known for. Of course, not wife. She's not married anymore. But that's what her millimeters, her whatever, her friends and people who are, that's what they see her on the show as. I feel like Melody has done what she's supposed to do with this platform. And yeah, she's built off it and she's successful from it. He then asked her if she believes that she's over like all the shit that's happened to her. She's like, what you mean? And he like, you know, like the shit with Marcel, that whole situation, the cheating. And she's like, what that gotta do with anything? Like, and why are you asking me that? True. What does that have to, cause why, that's not your business. Cause what you gonna do if I ain't? What are you gonna do if I am? Like, that has nothing to do with the conversation me and you should be having right now. Like, he said it actually do have something to do with him because he believes that hurt people. That's true, hurt people do hurt people. But why are you assuming that this lady is still hurt? And why do you think she's gonna take her heart out on you? You ain't the person who hurt her. Yes, you might have been in the background with your little cackling and laughing and kikiing and doing what you do. However, I just feel like you gotta be thinking way too hard, way too much of yourself to think that she's gonna be pushing off the hurt that she felt from Marcel onto your motherfucking big-headed ass. Boy, please. He then goes on to say some more disrespectful ass shit or some more just off the wall, like what the fuck is you talking about type shit. He basically like, I just want things to go back to like kind of how they was, and I want the old Melody back when, you know, when you were happy. And at this point she's like, wait, hold on, how are you assuming that I'm not happy just because I commented on something that's going on in your life? Like, where is that coming from? What do you mean I'm not unhappy? Like, I'm not happy? Like, what?
Oh, I'm happy. So, no. So you're taking me having an opinion about you is that Nell ain't happy? You don't even talk to me, Maurice. How dare you sit here and say I ain't happy? You disparaging my character.
It's not.
And my emotions and where I'm at mentally.
She's like, you don't even be around me no more to actually know what's going on in my life, actually. She's like, we haven't sat down and talked in years. Like, me and you haven't done a one-on-one sit down and talk in years. You feel me? You don't know this person. You knew Melody Hope. You don't know Melody Rogers. Clock it. Clock it, please. She basically then ends up saying, like, anybody who hangs out with Marcel or has a strong relationship with Marcel, you most likely won't see me because I'm not asking anybody to, you know, pick a side, choose a side. But at this point in my life, I just feel like if that's what you want to be around, then that's what you're going to be around. I don't want that energy around me. Once again, rightfully so. They are literally dealing with, I don't know about present day, but during that time, dealing with a whole case on whether he, you know, trying to release shit and sending fucking messages and all. Like, it's literally a legal case going on right now. So respect the girl wishes and move the fuck on. In the end, the conversation ends off with both of them apologizing, which is moving on. Chris, Marquez, and Marcel sit down to have lunch. Now, Chris goes on to say that, you know, his first time meeting Marquez was at the celebration party, whatever. Marquez then says that he found out about the party last minute and didn't even realize it was going to be at their home.
Kind of got told last minute, but you know.
Oh, really?
Didn't even realize it was at the house.
But you came.
Marquez says his worst fear was to see a man come in and take care of his kids, and being at their home around them in that setting with the kids, it kind of was like, you know, a trigger for him, and didn't realize, like, you know, he was going to feel that way. And it basically hurt him. Basically, he was hurt. He was hurt. Chris said, well, you know, you did come off like, your persona did come off very tough, but then it kind of fell once you sat down and started talking about how you feel and whatever. So Marcel was like, wait, so did he come in with a certain persona, or did he come in like he felt some type of way? And Marquez was like, well, my emotions probably came off as tough. He was like, but they don't.
That's what I'm getting
You
away
came in
from.
super emotional or came in super tough?
Well,
I'd say they gave that
my
persona.
emotion probably came off as tough.
It doesn't.
But they don't, like, I agree, they don't never come, I mean, once again, as far as what they show on the show, they don't never come off as like he is this tough ass person, or he's just building up this wall. And I'm not saying that he's not. I'm not. Some people know how to play the game when it comes to these cameras. Do what you gotta do. But he always seems to be like on the right side, or he just seems to be chill, cool, like he really do. Emotional as hell, but cool. So in Marcel's confessional, he says that Marquez basically runs his life based off his emotions, and that it's okay for men to be, you know, emotional or whatever, be passionate and have their feelings, but to basically move and live your life based off those feelings and think that you are absolutely right because you feel that way is a cause for self-destruction. And I 100% agree. And you know, Marcel, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes he be spitting that shit, you know, some shit. He not dumb, but he's a fucking clown. Let's say that. He ain't dumb, but he a clown. If you know, you know. I just feel like he could give great advice. He needs to start taking it though. Start taking it. But I agree. I feel like Marquez moves off emotion, and as a man, or anybody in general, I feel like you cannot dictate every move in your life off of your emotions. That's just not how that work. It don't. Like, the world couldn't work that way. If everybody moved every single day based off how they felt, this shit would be in shambles. It's already in shambles. It would be even more in shambles. You feel me? And he wears his heart on his sleeve. That's the definition of wearing your emotions and your heart on your sleeve. He does. And he needs to kind of wrap that up and figure it out, because you are a grown-ass man. Okay? You have to, at some point, contain your emotions just to make some shit work. And this one needs to work. Your kids, your relationship with your ex-wife, well, still wife, co-parenting, like, you have to get that under wraps. Marquez then says that he wants to be done with the emotional side, which great, but Chris then say, well, how do you do that? Because Ken is still here. Like, you feel me? Ken's going to be here. It's not going anywhere. So how do you do that? He like, well, I want to move back to Huntsville. So that's going to be, you know, one thing. And have more open conversations with him. I think that's a great idea. Because the only way to get over this hurt and to build kind of like a relationship, some type of relationship, is to talk, communicate. Like, y'all have to do that. So he then goes on to say, like, you know, he was happy to see the kids. He was happy to meet everybody in the group. He was like, this is my first time I got to meet Melody, you know. And he like, and then Chris goes on to say, like, you know, you kind of flirting with Melody. Like, you know, he was trying to holler at her or something like that. He was like, nah, I ain't try, I did, or whatever. And Chris was like, yeah, she was blushing and shit too. Like, she was blushing, and they did show like a little clip. You can't really tell if she was blushing because the clip, I believe, was like in black and white, whatever.
Yeah. Hey, maybe y'all can hook me up to Melody. I told you we got synergy.
He like, yeah, nah, you think Martella felt some type of way if I, you know, try to holler at her, like ask her on a date? And Marcel like, well, I don't think so. Like, they ain't together, like, you know. And he like, all right, can you set that up for me? And he like, how the fuck? How am I gonna set that up? How the fuck is he gonna set that up? First off, him and Marcel ain't even seeing eye to eye. They don't even fucking like each other. Melody and Marcel is fucking always up and down. Who knows how they feel? Even though she don't got a problem with him right now. But, well, ain't nobody listening to Marcel about no. So Marquez then goes on to say that he will always have love for Trisha, but he's not in love with her. Marcel was like, from the outside looking in, it looks like Marquez is a person who lost the love of his life, lost his children or whatever, and is basically being emotional off that and feel like he is lying about how he feel about Trisha. Marquez then says that he feel like people are getting his emotions and how he felt about Trisha and Ken mixed up. He's like, there was things that happened prior to them becoming public, like them flirting with each other, sending messages, hanging out, all that type of shit. And that is the reason why, you know, he just ain't for that shit. And he feel like, nah.
People get my emotion confused with Trish and Ken, right? Y'all don't know the details, the intricate details about them dealing with each other prior to, and the things that have occurred that have created trauma within me.
Right.
Marquez then goes on to say that he feels like Chris is being more empathetic than Marcel. And Marcel is like, yeah, niggas, because I know you ain't telling the truth. I know I'm not getting the truth from you. Why should I be empathetic? So Marquez like, so you just want me to be like, oh, this man took my family and I'm okay with that. And he like, nah, but you feel like you had Trisha in the palm of your hand and that you could leave and come back and she was still gonna be right there. Like, that's what it is. And that's why you feel the way you feel. I believe that too, I ain't gonna lie. For you to leave your whole family for a whole year and then try to come back. I'm talking about move away. So I'm guessing they lived in Huntsville at first. He moved to Atlanta for that 1 year. They took a break, whatever, and then came back and thought she was gonna be sweet. But Marcel was like, basically the whole facade about you being mad because of the kids is bullshit. Because if people who are mad about not being around their children won't leave their children, and won't. Marcel was speaking some shit during this little lunch, whatever. He was definitely talking some shit. I 100% agree. So Marcel then says, like, y'all were taking a break in your marriage, right? But if you're taking a break, you're expected to come back. And he was like, I did come back. And when I came back, Ken was there.
Taking a break? You know what that means? I'm coming back to it.
I did. I expected to go back
until Ken came along.
Correct.
Now that's some tea. That's some motherfucking tea. I didn't know that. So the lunch ends with Marquez saying that he's going to go see his kids. And please do, my brother, go see them children. Go see them children, please. Thank you. The day of Melody's Mimosas with Melody, that's like a whole tongue twister. The day of Melody's Mimosas with Melody event has come. The event looks a lot different than last time she did it. It was like outside, it was during the day. It was more fitting for the mimosas part. This one is more like nightgown, like evening cocktail type vibe. It doesn't give mimosa vibe, but you know, hey, whatever, elevate. Might have to change the name a little bit, but you know. In Melody's confessional, she says that this event is different than the last one because the cast is invited, and last time they weren't. So they show up. They did show up. The first people to show up was Kimmy and Maurice, and Maurice made a comment like, wait, where's the mimosas? And then the next couple to show up is Trisha and Ken. And Trisha shady comment ass, whatever her last name, she always got some shady ass comments. I really started off this season like, oh, I think I'm gonna like Trisha, and now I don't give a damn about that lady, not even a little bit. I don't. I just don't like her, the character she portrays on the show. I don't know her personally, but the character she portrays on this show, don't like it, don't care for it, don't want it. Return back to sender, please. But anyways, Trisha makes a comment that she's at the event because she was invited, even though her and Melody wasn't, you know, didn't leave off on the best foot, or they're not on the best foot or whatever, and she's not really too much excited to be there, but hey, she's there, she's supporting, whatever. Marquez shows up to the event with flowers in his hand. He trying to get her bad, like he on her real bad. And you know what's crazy? Because I knew he was feeling her from the way he was looking at her when he was talking to her inside the little canopy thing at the little celebration party. But I didn't want to be that girl, like, oh, he feeling her. Like, you know, I don't want to be that girl, but I got good intuition. I do, I just do. Sunny also shows up, and Chris and Nell shows up, and then Marcel shows up without Tisha. But he did say that Tisha was in Vegas with her mom, so that's why she's not there. Melody then eventually walks out, comes on stage, says she has a lot of powerhouse speakers here today, and they all talk, do their little 1 2 1 2, boom. She gets off the stage and she is greeted with flowers from Marquez. Marquez has flowers for her, and then says, I'm gonna just give them to your mom, whoop-de whoop whoop, blah blah blah. On her bad, like,
I got some flowers for you. Can I give it to your mama first?
Yeah.
Your daughter, how you doing? Marquez.
Yeah.
Your daughter, she beautiful.
Now, one thing I do need to say about the event, while it was going on and the speakers is speaking, Marcel got comments. He keep making these sly ass comments like every single time, and then made a comment that say, well, ain't this just like the Black Business Expo? And Maurice like, well, Melody is expanding into business. That's why it's co-ed, which no, that's not why. It was co-ed last time. Marquez was at the last one. The fuck? They just talking shit. So yeah, Marquez greets with the flowers, boom, bang. He tell Melody's mom like, hey, your daughter is beautiful. Trisha says in her confessional that Marquez is just being Marquez, you know, just like the moment at the party where he wants to do the toast. This is exactly that, and he just always wants the spotlight on him, basically. Just want to do something to steal the show. Whatever. I didn't take it like that. I think it's actually nice for somebody to bring somebody flowers at an event that they're throwing, but hey, not everybody looks that way. Whatever. I also don't see how giving somebody flowers on during their event is taken away from them, but I mean, to each his own. To each his own. At this point, Marquez walks over to the table where Trisha, Ken, Kimmy, and Maurice is sitting down eating. He greets everybody, you feel me? Goes around the table and greet everybody. And instantly off the jump, I could tell that Ken and Trisha energy is just bad. Like, you feel me? They just like hella funky acting. Like, you feel me? Just not taking in him, taking the initiative to even speak. Because he don't gotta speak to y'all ass either if y'all not gonna speak to him. Like, just mad for no reason. Whatever.
What's going on, sir?
What's going on, man? Good.
I see you. Hello, ma'am. Hi.
Hi. Nice to see you again, buddy.
Y'all look nice. I just wanted to, you know, come say what's up. I see y'all.
So Marquez is still sitting there just talking to Maurice about everything, blah, blah, blah. Ken. Maurice says, hey, you know, I noticed your spirit is like a lot better than the last time I see you. And he like, yeah, you know, blah, blah, blah. Say what he said. So Maurice like, did y'all figure it out? Did y'all work y'all stuff out? Trisha like, yeah, you know, we're still working on it. And he was like, oh, I was talking about Ken. Mind you, Ken is like this. He's like this, turned looking down. Trisha is sitting right here, like right in front of him. And he's turned looking down at his phone like this. Maurice and Marquez is on this side. So he's not even facing them. Back is towards them. I'm going to show a clip. Y'all going to probably see it, whatever.
Good. Y'all worked y'all stuff out?
Oh,
Maurice,
man,
we
we'll figure it out.
No, I was talking about Ken.
We getting there.
But body language, bad. Attitude on. Like, acting like a diva. Acting like a diva. So, mind you, when he said I'm talking about Ken didn't say nothing. You feel me? He didn't say nothing. So Marquez like, well, you know, I'm gonna take my good energy that way. I'm gonna go back over there with it. So once he leave and walk off, they go into this whole little tangible talking about, you know, basically once they leave here, the shit is gonna change. Now at this point, Ken is back sitting straight. Mad ass nigga. Back sitting straight or whatever, and he's like, yeah, well, I'm over here sending money to him. I'm over here trying to figure out sending money to his kids. Why do you need to make that comment? Because if you are in a relationship with that lady, her kids come with it. So his kids, her kids, whoever kids, what's the point of the comment? Are you only doing shit for her kids or their kids so you can rub it in that nigga face? Like, what is the point? Because if not, keep that shit. The fuck? Or have that fucking mama send it. Like I said, at this point, I am starting to think that they're the problem. Do Marquez need to grow up? Absolutely. Do Marquez need to work on his emotions and maybe get into therapy and figure out, you know, how to work through the emotions? Absolutely. But do I feel like Trisha and Ken are very petty? Yes. Do I feel like Trisha and Ken needs to have some shit they need to work on as well? Yes. Do I feel like they are not leaving the door as open as they try to make it seem for this relationship to get better, for this co-parenting, for everybody, all the adults to be on one accord? No, I don't feel like they're doing it. They're not giving their all. No, they're not. They need to work better. They need to do better. They are fucking, they just look like they are not the best to be around. I wouldn't want to be around y'all either. Ken, he, and hi, and y'all can't even face me when I'm sitting here talking to y'all. Like, no, it's no reason for y'all to be disrespectful like that. Now, granted, she did say that Marquez be like texting her saying, I still don't like that fucking N-word or whatever. And it's just like, okay, that's childish as fuck. He don't need to do that. But Kimmy did make a great point. She was like, the fact that he is comfortable enough to even send that text message say a lot. Cause like, shut that shit down the first time it happened and don't let it happen again. And he like, well, she do that, but he still do it. He don't care. Clearly, the relationship between the two ain't that rocky. Because I wasn't even picking up the phone. First off, them kids is grown as hell. Them kids are grown as hell to the point where he can call their phone, talk to them. He don't even have to talk to Trisha for real. If he didn't, like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about for real? And then goes on to make a comment and say that his 30-year-old self would have wanted to put hands on Marquez, but you know that's not what he on right now, whatever. Okay, mister, let me put my head down while you talking, please. Like, I'm so tired of everybody acting like they knucking and bucking on this motherfucking show, but ain't doing a goddamn thing. Now, Sonny, Marquez, Marcel are standing like outside of the doors or whatever. And Melody walks over to thank them for coming. And she's like, oh, my feet hurt or whatever. And Marquez is like, you want me to rub them for you? And she's like, nah.
My shoes.
I know my feet. My feet.
Oh, your flesh.
Thank you for coming.
You need me to rub your feet, please?
No. Thank you for it. That's so.
He owe you bad, sis. He owe you bad. You might as well just give him a... Nah, don't get that nigga a date. They say he was broke. And there ain't nothing wrong with messing with broke men. But Melody do not give me that she wants a broke man. She don't. She works too hard. So, she don't want that man. She don't want that man. But I do see her maybe going out on a date just to entertain the shit and, you know, bring some entertainment to the show. Why not? I mean, why not? Why not? Okay? Why not? Not while he's married, of course. He's still married, but, you know. So Marcel, being a messy person he is, of course he brings up like, oh yeah, I heard you was blushing and he was trying to get at you and you know all the shit. She was like, blushing? And he was like, Marquez said, no, I said I was blushing. And he was like, yeah, wasn't you trying to get at her? You said you were trying to... And he was like, no, I said I was gonna see, or do you think Marcel would feel some type of way if I asked her on a date? And she was like, ask me on a date? Ain't you still married?
And here's you blushing at her?
You said what?
You said that. I asked her, do you think Martell would have an issue if I asked
Well, if you ask her out, right?
If you ask me out,
Yeah.
aren't you still married?
In this, he said, well, Marcel gonna say, yeah, he's still married, but he identifies as single. She's like, oh, so he's taking a page out of your book.
not for long.
No, he's married, but he identifies as single.
Oh, he took a note out of your book.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Whoa.
Now you sound like Marquez.
Clock that. What? That was a read. Read him down. We all know Marcel be living his life like it's golden. You ain't fooling nobody. You ain't. You not. But once again, Melody didn't shoot down the date. I just want to say that. She didn't shoot down the date. But she didn't technically say yes to the date either. She was just like, ain't you still married? And he was like, well, you know, that's gonna change soon. You feel me? And she was like, well, you know, you can have your people send over my people some, you know, and say how you could fit well with the team. Like, how could we use you? It was a little flirty. It was a little flirty, low-key. I'm not gonna yay. It was a little flirty. So now they are back inside of where the party is, and the whole group is kind of like sitting together, or like standing together like in a little round circle or whatever. And Melody points out the fact that Moses is not with Sonny. So she's like, where's Moses? And she's like, oh, he's going through a little probation matter, i.e. jail. My man's in jail. Free Moses. The boy is locked up. That karma hit real quick. Like, no shade. No shade. I'm not joking about no man being in jail, but baby, what? First off, what are you doing to violate probation? Nell and Chris tell the group that they are going to have a 30-year anniversary, like wedding type thing. And they're also going to do bachelorette and bachelor parties. And of course, they want everybody to come out. Cool. Can't wait to see how it turns out. That's what's up. Nell then is at the bridal shop looking for a dress for, you know, her wedding or whatever. She did say that she never had this like lavish wedding that she wanted. She never had like this lavish wedding dress, and all the dresses look beautiful. The dress she tried on looks really good. So, you know, everybody needs to live that fairy tale life once in a while. Like, that's cool, whatever. Y'all got the money, ball out. She came to the shop with her daughter and her, she called both of them her daughter, but one is her blood daughter, one is her niece, I believe, and they were with her. And then Melody ended up showing up a little later. So they sit down and talk, and she basically tells her like how hurt she was about the whole "you're not my mentor" thing. blah blah blah, the whole debacle. So over this conversation. I feel like she's dragging it. She basically say like, the last time I spoke to you, I left that conversation very unhappy. And Mel was shocked as hell, like really shocked. And she said she felt as though Mel downplayed like their relationship and her being her mentor. She was like, I was your mentor. It's like, why do you need her to say that so bad? Like, you were my mentor. What is that gonna do for you? What is it gonna do for you? But I can understand that, like, discrediting what y'all built, whatever, but also, no, I don't. Matter of fact, no, I don't. Because if you wasn't that lady mentor, I didn't view it as a mentorship. I viewed it as a friendship. She basically was like, I stayed at your home several nights until the sun came up, leaving my sick mom to come and help y'all try to mend y'all relationship. And Melody like, well, I took that as, you know, you being a friend and y'all being friends of ours. You feel me? I didn't take it as you mentoring me. And honestly, if it was a mentorship to anybody, it was a mentorship to Martel, because he was the one fucking up and y'all was getting on him for fucking up. You wasn't mentoring me, which is understandable. Mentoring her for what? She wasn't the problem. He was. In the end, Melody did say that it hurt her to know that Nell was hurting for all this time. I guess the last time they talked was 6 weeks ago, because she was like, if I would have known, I would have apologized to you 6 weeks ago. You feel me? I'm not trying to hurt you, blah blah blah. Moral of the story, girl, you ain't her mentor, you was her friend. Y'all friends. That's it. Leave it at that. So done with this conversation. But that was the episode. That was the episode. Pretty chill, pretty cool episode. Next episode, you know, look like they might get into a little bit of tea. A little bit. Marcel and Martel do have a conversation, so can't wait to see what that's about. But yeah, if you made it to the end of this video, please leave a purple heart below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.